and then all of a sudden, like, they show up over here to the west. Didn't hear anything from them. I think they sent me a message in Discord, but like we were already deep in it when they sent me that message, so I had no idea they were coming, and I wasn't really paying attention over here to my west.
Okay. No, I see what happened. No, you're right. It was a it was a fish bed. I was padlocked on Wingnut because he said that he was defensive on that RTB. And so I was just padlocked on him. I was like, "Are you sure it's not a Hornet we're chasing down?"
Yeah, it wasn't a Hornet. I think
It
you
definitely
said
wasn't
it
a
was
Hornet.
me, but I got tracers coming down my left side. You know.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go get this started. I'm
Yep.
gonna have to make this super quick tonight because it's already fucking late, and I have like a 15-hour drive tomorrow to Miami.
Ooh.
So,
First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much because this was a pure ad hoc, and I was. Thank you.
oh no, that's cool. No, I'm glad we got to actually get up and do something. Nobody wants to show up on a Friday night and listen to me drone on forever and ever. So I'm glad we got up in the air. I'm gonna skip first couple intercepts. I want to give a little focus to Circuit and Bozo since the 103 guys, you guys have done this before. So I'm going to quickly go through Circuit and Bozo's kind of one-on-one intercept here, and then we'll do the three-group wall, which you guys actually did pretty damn well on, considering that's a um, huge jump in complexity from the little single groups we've been doing. So here we go. Pop-up group. So Sensei and Romeo came out of nowhere over here to the west. Didn't know they were coming, and so Victor One got all tangled up with them. We'll just kind of ignore that for now.
We took off like 40 minutes before from Tonopah.
275, 51, 22,000. I know, but you guys weren't talking to me, so I didn't know you're coming. Sorry about that. Second group, smoke, 355, 96, 28,000. Tracks out. All right, let me do something real quick. Where the heck is smoke? There it is. All right, there's smoke. We've got Winder 2 here, about 42, 042, 47 smoke. And new picture. We had pop-up group over here, so I called this second group. Tracks out. 28,000 group. Second group, smoke. 355, 96, 28,000. Track south, bogey. Let's head north. So keep in mind, I think TAC view shows true, not magnetic. So I don't know how to adjust that. So the calls will be approximately 11 to 12 degrees off from what they were in game. All right, this progressed for a while. Nobody committed or anything. I heard one or two trying to get situated on their intercom. Two groups. Pop-up group, smoke. 275, 47. Furball with victory 1. Second group, smoke. 355, 83, 27,000. Track south, bogey. Before we continue, Sensei, is there a way to change TAC view to do magnetic instead of true?
I don't think there is from here. I'd have to dig back into it.
Roger, no problem.
Victory 1-1, splash 1. Radar contact 354.
So, if you notice there, I just waited a few minutes, then called it again. So, if you ever feel like you missed the call, and you can always ask for information, but also be sure that I'll come back with the call again soon with an update on all the groups.
Contact 354. Victory 1-1 splash 1. Winder 2 radar contact 354 for 81 Angels or 27,000 track 7.
All right, so this was happening all night, and it really confused me. So, whenever I call anything out, you'll either hear me say smoke, blah 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 blah, or I will say bra, blah 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 blah. Right. So this is smoke, 355, 81, 27,000 tracks south bogey. And if it was a bra, then it'd be Winder 2 bra 149, 50. No, let me switch it around. 329, 53, 27,000. It's kind of a flank south bogey. So you guys were calling out your radar contacts, and you weren't giving a reference point, right? You weren't saying smoke, nor were you saying bra. So when you don't say anything, one, please say either the bullseye or bra. If you don't say anything, I'm just going to kind of assume bra. And so you guys called out here, radar contact, whatever it was something like north, right? Whatever this is, like 355 or something. And so I'm like, okay, I'm grabbing you. I'm looking up here at 355. I'm like, what are they looking at? So anyways, when you make your contact calls, just, it's fine if you want to use the bullseye reference, right? If you're getting that bullseye reference off your radar screen, that's fine if you want to use that. But just clarify which you're using.
Specify your measurement.
Winder 2, smoke, 3454, 78, 27,000, track south. Second group.
Winder 2 commit second group. Let's try to get a radar intercept.
I got what you meant, but technically the call here would be, you've already committed, right? You came off cap, you started putting your nose over there, sanitizing the airspace, getting radar contact. Next call there would be Winder 2, target second group.
Let's get out here. Come off to the left a little bit. Copy that. Looks like it's
So here, you said radar contact, we correlated, you said you're targeting second group, so I'm like, all right, they have them on radar, they're starting their intercept. I will leave them be until they reach out to me.
Whoa, I'm merged.
While Victory 1 has a heart attack over here.
Victory 1-1 merged. Yep, tally. Lining up for
All right, so we didn't get into the details of intercept geometry, but what you need to try to do here once you get them on radar contact is look at your target aspect. So when you're 40 miles out, you want to be targeting about 10 degrees target aspect. So you really ideally want to be about over here. All right, and so when you get radar contact on that, recognize your distance away, your target aspect, and take the cut angle you need in order to get into the right position.
Victory 1-1 splash.
If you can do it by just going to gimbal limit and maintaining radar contact, great. But remember, you have AWACS supporting you, so if you're ever in a dire situation where you really need to take a hard angle to get out in front of your contact and cut, to the point where you're essentially beaming him and can't maintain radar contact, that's fine. Just call that out, and I'll monitor for him, and I'll give you guidance. So the general guy, there's the 825 has pages and pages and pages and pages of essentially intercept theory, and goes through all this complicated geometry and talks about cutting away and intercept angles and all this other stuff. And it's definitely good to learn as much of that as you can. I basically boil it down to 4 kind of target numbers, and that's 40 miles out, 10 degrees target aspect. 30 miles out, 25 degrees target, I'm sorry, 15 degrees target aspect, 20 miles out, 25 degrees target aspect, and then 10 miles, 40 degrees target aspect. That puts you perfectly 40,000 feet of horizontal lateral separation in order to have that nice stern conversion geometry. Where at 10 miles you can just go pure match speed, and you'll end up, you know, good half mile right off of his tail. Right there in Fox 2 weapon employment zone.
One coming up on the speed, 350.
And you guys are about to learn
Quantity 2, second
somewhat.
group bandit.
So you guys got, I think, targeting pod or something on him. Is that right?
Same
Tried, but mine was I couldn't get my avionics to work.
That's right. You guys ended up getting nails, I think. So nails, I think he called 25. If we can start learning NATO call signs, that'd be good. So what would be a MiG-25?
Is that a Foxbat?
Foxbat.
Second group, bandit. Magic. Second group, bandit.
I won't rewind it again, but shortly here you guys called, like, essentially nails, you know,
Quantity 2, second group
same
bandit.
direction as second group.
Yeah, it was right before that because you called him a bandit afterwards.
And wider 2, 20 miles.
Can't tell if that was on Pry or Ox, but it's not a bad thing to, and sometimes I'll do it as AWACS at 30 miles, like call that out over Pry, and that basically lets everybody on frequency know, hey, like they've entered like potential, you know, Fox 3 employment zone, like they're in the critical phase of their intercept, like unless you got something really critical to say, like clear the airways.
One's all out.
So at 10 miles, you're basically 90 degrees target aspect. And I was a little slow with it, but what I like to do to my guys, and they will attest to this, what I've done, is if you screw up your intercept geometry, I have a little control where I can come in here and I can change their speed, and I'll just put them in afterburner, and they'll just drive away from you.
Yep.
I did that this time. Unfortunately, I didn't change them to weapons hold in time, and so they started reacting to you, and they turned and broke back into you.
Minor 2, caution blow through. Second group, bra 245, 26,000. Drag south. Bandit.
Yeah, that's just me kind of warning you, hey, like, you're...
I think he's saying if they do speed up, I won't be able to catch up with him.
Foxbats will definitely outrun you.
I'm off your right side, a couple of miles here.
So anyways, I think they got windy or something like that and started reacting defensively. And so I couldn't get them to run away from me at this point.
I can't figure out how to use my mod.
So here they're bandits.
Oh, I thought
One's holding 350 on the
but they're not. Hostile deal.
They're bandits.
Okay, you got one going low, one staying high. What do you want me to
Minor 2, second group, maneuver.
All right, so if you're following along, minding your own business, and a couple of, well, let's say Foxbats just kind of roll in and line up behind you, what would you do?
You shoot him down.
All right, you would at least break defensively, right?
Defensive, yeah.
1 to 2 merged. I'm going low.
You may even throw out some countermeasures just in case, you know, it's like, what are they going to do?
Minor 2, merged. Second
So, as my guys have been already lectured, like, just because they start maneuvering and dropping flares, it doesn't necessarily, depending on how the intercept goes, you know, what the position at which they start doing it, doesn't necessarily immediately make them hostile, right? Like, you just intercepted them, they have a a right to kind of defend themselves somewhat. So you kind of have to monitor to see if they're continuing into weapon employment zone against you, because it's very possible, and I'll do this sometime, I'll reach in, I'll just have them turn back the direction they came and start running away. So you'll see them maneuver, but really what they're doing, it's like, okay, we've been intercepted, we'll get out of here.
I just took out one of them, so if you're on somebody, don't.
Winder 2 decided, they're hostile.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Shoot first, ask questions later. All right, but other than that, and tightening up the intercept geometry, which, you know, I haven't even gotten a chance to kind of talk to you guys about in detail. You guys did a good job and made some good calls. I mean, for the first time, very good job. So, do you have any questions about the intercept?
No, not really.
245.
All right, so we wrapped that one up, and you guys were kind of nicely lined up here. So I was like, all right, let's see what they can do. So, new picture.
West group.
We got Victory 1 over here, Victory 3 over here, Winder 2 in the middle.
Magic. New picture. Magic. 3 groups. First group, Smoke, 329. 98, 28,000, track south, bogey. Second group, Smoke, 345, 93, 30,000, track south, bogey. Third group, Smoke, 360, 96, 31,000, track south, bogey.
The 36096 is probably us there.
Yeah, ready to turn north when you call it.
Go ahead, turn north, I'm right behind you. And Winder 2 commit.
Magic, Victory 3, commit. Alright, let's help them out. 2's on you.
I'll stay as support this time.
Victory, Magic, Victory 1-1, come in.
All right, so I got 3 groups committing. I don't immediately start making calls. I'm kind of waiting for you to get turned and settled, especially Victory 3 and Winder 2 here. Kind of wasn't sure where they're going to end up.
Got lost.
Also, too, I just trying to give you a chance to like make your maneuver, get settled, get your radar over there, because it's like if I start calling out things while you're trying to maneuver your aircraft, it makes it difficult to write that stuff down.
Picture.
So
3 group wall. 45 wide. Middle group, Smoke. 345, 80, 28,000, track south, bogey. West group, 27,000, track south, bogey. East group, 23,000, track south, bogey.
Separation.
yeah, I probably need to clear the separation call there. To be honest, wasn't sure exactly. I just gave the how wide it was, and then anchored it to middle group, kind of assuming equal distribution. But yeah, I probably should have given separation. So I do that as part of the description of each of the follow-on groups.
Yeah, so you'd want to, for this one, I'd probably say 3 group wall. What was the width on it? 40? 25?
45 wide.
45. So 3 group wall, 45 wide. And then I would anchor either the western or the eastern group and not the middle. I'd anchor the middle on a Vic, but I wouldn't want to necessarily anchor the middle on a 3 group wall. Typically, because you're going to have one of these groups. Everybody, all of us, we want to get around to those flanks, the eastern or the western group. Nobody wants to hit that middle group. And so if you have, in this case, closer fighters that are already aligned to the eastern group and flowing that way, then I would say, okay, I'm going to anchor the eastern group. So 3 group wall, 45 wide, eastern group, and anchor it off of smoke. And then do middle group separation. What is it? Half of 45.
Yeah,
So it was
20.
what, 15, 20? Okay, so you just do the middle group separation because you already in the description have the width of the third guy because that's the width of the whole group, right? He's 45.
Yeah, that's right.
So you anchor the eastern, and then you do middle group separation, 20, 15,000 hot bandit, and then western group 20,000 hot bandit. Because you've already
And
given the measurement
yeah.
of the whole.
And that's the other thing I screwed up. So I initially called all these bogeys, and just the fact that it's like a 3-group formation, just pretty much like jumped a bandit probably straight from that. So yeah, I should have made a better call. I should have anchored it to one of the ends. So it'd be 3-group wall, 45 wide, east group, smoke, 002, 82, 28,000, track south, bandit, middle group, separation 20, 28,000, track south, bandit, west group, 28,000, track south, bandit.
Yep.
Okay, he wants us on that other one, not these.
Victory 1-1, target west group.
So Victory 1-1's all over it. They understand.
Magic, west group, broth.
They understand that they're lined up on the left side of that formation, and they're best positioned to target that west group.
340, 64, 27,000, hot, bogey.
It took me a while though, because I was like trying to see where the other flights were, and I just saw like a clump on my SA page with Winder and Victory 3.
Yeah. And it almost doesn't kind of matter like where they are. It's like most important. It's like where you are, and where you're aligned with this relative to this overall formation,
Yeah,
right? You
pretty
come in here,
much.
get in the middle, right? So
Yeah, pretty much at that point I was just like they'll figure it out. Like that's not really my issue is those 2 right side groups. Yeah.
yeah. So Victory 1 calls in. All right. So they said, all right, we're gonna target west group. And so I go ahead and come back with that to give them a tactical bra call.
180 and head north. Roger that, apologies, I'll do 180.
Quite a few commit east group.
180 in position. Winder 2, east group, bra, 349, 47, 28,000, hot, bogey.
So Winder
Victory
2.
3, recommend.
So Winder 2 also correctly recognizes where they are at relative to the formation and targets east group. And so I'm going to go ahead and just make sure all groups are taken care of and just
target middle group, bra, 335, 57, 28,000, hot, bogey.
And just make sure that Victory 3 is right on middle group.
Middle group.
Yeah, it's a good way to do
All
it is
groups
to
banded.
directive target so that everybody knows specifically what they're going after. And there's any confusion here would just screw everybody up. So
Yeah, that was really helpful.
just kind of direct them. You go after this, you go after this, you go after this, and everybody's got their own bra at this point, so they don't have to really worry about. I mean, did you guys, by the way, talking to the fighter groups, did you put your radar out there and see all 3 of those groups in relation to each other, or did you just see your group?
Yeah, I think at one point I had contact on all, or at least like the west and the middle one. I don't know. I can't recall if I had contact on the eastern one, but I wasn't really worried about those anyways.
Yeah, it's pretty wide to get the whole group.
Right.
All right, continue.
What was convenient is nobody launched AWACS tonight, so I don't think you guys had much in the way of data link other than fighter to fighter. So
Thank God.
Yeah. I noticed that when we got on station, those broad calls were like 15 miles away.
Yeah, see, I'm not seeing the one he's calling for east. I'm
Choose the
seeing,
beam right,
001 for 67.
Yeah, this was happening a lot tonight. Like, you guys were making calls that were referencing smoke, but without saying smoke. So I thought you were giving me bra calls, which confused me. And I think there were at times when I was giving you bra calls and saying bra, whatever, and you were interpreting those as smoke.
That's
Okay,
correct.
yeah, there's, we had a little bit of confusion there about whether there was another group that we weren't seeing or what, but yeah, that's a good explanation of why.
That's a question. If you're saying like contact, 36030, and you don't specify bra or bullseye, is it assumed bra?
I'm going to assume bra, but
Right.
it's best to just leave no doubt and
Don't
specify
do that.
bra. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't speak ambiguously.
Okay.
Brevity is this one word means all of this stuff, so you can just say that
Right.
word. Brevity is very
Okay.
important.
Cool.
And
Yep.
and so if you don't get the habit of saying either the bullseye's name or bra, then the controller isn't sure. And a lot of times in very busy environments, there might be a target at both of those relative positions, and they are two different things, right? One's a friendly, one's an enemy. So it's very important to specify.
Again, I'm listening to your inner flight.
East group.
I'm listening to your inner flight. It sounded like there was some confusion, so I just reach in here and make sure I give you guys a new directive.
Bra 341 26 28,000 hot bandit.
Yeah, so that's off East contact.
All right, breaking it off, coming right.
What the AIC wants to hear at this point is that everybody everybody has radar contact of their group.
Thank you, middle group. Winder 2, East group, Bra 330 18 28,000 flank south bogey.
Choose radar contact, middle group, Bra 00130 Angels 27. Hot.
So Drifter, you're making that great, radar contact call. I think that was on Aux, however, and so I didn't, that's not for me. So technically lead has priority, but if you are wing, okay, and you are very confident that your SA is well above your leads, like it's best to make sure, that everybody's on the same page. And so if you need to, like, step in and make that call.
Understood. Thank you.
Winder 2, radar contact, Bra 315 for 10, Angels 27.
Winder 22, East group, Bra 294 9 28,000 beam south bandit. 2 shooter, 1 spotter.
2 copies, moving to shooter position.
Thank you, go Western forward.
Winder 2, visual.
Magic, Big Tree, 3-1, radar contact, 355, 35, 27,000 hot.
Yeah, I was referencing smoke, but I forgot to say it.
Yeah, note the pause from me.
Victory Tree.
I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm sorry.
05, 11, 28,000 flank south bandit.
So then you guys bit off on East group.
I got F4 VID flaring.
All right, so you gave me a good ID on one of the groups, which is good, but it's the wrong group. And it would have been really bad if you had thrown a Fox 3 in here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Victory Tree, snapped left, 240. Middle group, Bra, 273, 8, 27,000. Beam south, bandit. 240. Snapping left, 240, between 3-1. Winder 2, merged, East group.
Winder 2, Fox 2, East.
And Winder 2, F4 is flaring.
Magic, all groups hostile.
So
And this
Winder
is where you hear
2
me say fuck over Discord because I was like, I did this twice.
So Winder 2, never says anything, but I hear him calling Fox 2. I'm not even sure the Fox 2 was on Pry. I think it was just Ox, but I'm monitoring your inner flight, and so I hear that Fox 2, and so all I can assume, right, because you are the close-in eyeball here. You at this point, like pre-commit and post-commit, and just post-commit, like AWACS has the best SA. But as the intercept progresses and you get closer in and you guys have radar contact and then potentially targeting pod ID and then eyeball ID, your SA is well beyond, at least on any one particular group, is well beyond what AWACS has always. So even though you didn't call anything, you call Fox 2, I just have to presume this group has done something that has met ROE according to Winder 2, hostile. And then because these are three groups moving as a coordinated picture, when one becomes hostile, all become hostile.
I fucked that up full time.
Victory 2-3, Fox 3.
I got the other.
Alright, I'm gonna head south. Winder 2, 3 seconds Fox 3.
Winder 2, Fox 2. Splash 2.
Shoot.
All right, let's jump over here to Victory 1 real quick.
Victory tree, snapped left, 240. Middle group, broad, 273, 827,000. Beam south, bandit. 240. Snapping left, 240.
Oh, it looked like the stream.
East group.
Winder 2, Fox 2, east.
All right, so here's Victory 1 intercepting West group. In pretty good position, maybe slightly wide, so 119 are right. So they are about 60 degrees target aspect, so they're a little wide, but not bad. You can always adjust as needed here, like you do a little bit of lead here and close it down.
Yeah, I was able to recognize that. They weren't going as hot aspect as I thought they were going to go, so, oh well.
And Winder 2, F4 is flaring.
Magic, all groups hostile.
All right, so I call that out, right? Looks like just based on your positioning, Schmokey is eyeball, and Wingnut is shooter.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
These guys, yep, they're bandits, right? But you never know how quickly the situation is going to change. You as shooter, right, are protecting your lead, your eyeball, who's going to go in and check these guys out. You need to be Johnny on the spot. These guys should be in track while scan mode, both set up to employ weapons as soon as possible. So ideally, you're set up, ready to go. You're trailing him. You've got radar contact on both of these. You hear AWACS go, all groups hostile. About 2 seconds later, Victory 1-2, Fox 3, West Group, Strength 2. Because you've already got these guys all set up in track while scan, both of them designated, and you're ready to plink off 2 Fox 3s, with track while scan, tracking both of these targets with a weapons quality track. Boom, boom. Victory 1, Splash 2, West Group. And then I'll echo with West Group faded.
They're hostile. I fucked that up full time.
Victory 1-1's targeted on the lead guy.
Victory 2-3, Fox 3.
I got the other one.
Alright, I'm gonna head south. Winder 2, 3 seconds Fox 3.
Victory 1-1, Fox 3. West Group.
Winder 2, Fox 2. Splash 2.
Shoot. That one went Pipple on the wrong guy, but
Yeah, that
yeah,
threw me off.
what can you do?
So I had to try to
No, I had like the guy on the right locked up and everything, like, and then it just went Pipple on the other guy. I'm like, okay, I guess he'll.
So I didn't want to shoot past you and hit you.
Victory Group brought 255 from 5, 24,000 drag west. Hostile. Victory 3-2, Fox 3.
I was just trying to get Wingnut a kill here.
Alright, so the last point I'll make for the night, right? Any Fox calls should all be done on Pry. And why is that? Well, one, it lets somebody know that somebody's firing a missile. So if you happen to be near, middle group, right, and you hear somebody else call out, Victory 3, Fox 2, middle group, you know to get the hell out of there. Secondly, right, it helps again it helps build everyone's SA, okay, and it helps me as AWACS be able to do kind of BDA, right? So I'm out here and I'm watching all you guys, engage these things, and I'm just staying quiet because you're busy and you know where all your groups are, whatever, and you're employing weapons. Okay, well, this will become especially important when we get into BVR situations, right? You're employing from 30 miles out, and you may or may not be able to see the splash, may not be able to do your own BDA. In close, it's not quite as important, but it's still important, and it's good to get into this practice, right? So you call Fox, you need to call your missile call, let me know you're firing a missile and who you're firing it at. Okay, I can monitor that. And then what you also want to call out is either missile timeout, right? Its missiles reached its intended point of intercept on your radar screen, in a BVR situation, or missile Victor 1 Pitbull middle group. Just call Pitbull like you've already called Fox 3. I know who you're targeting. Just say Pitbull. Or splash, right? Indicating either splash, seen some sort of weapon fusing, weapon detonation. Timeout, which is your weapon kind of reached its predicted impact point, but you can't see what happened. And then Pitbull, if you're firing a Fox 3, when your missile is gone HPRF active, and it could be tracking a target. So you tell me those things because that tells me you fired a missile when it has arrived there, okay? And if you call splash or timeout, something like that, I can sit there and watch the track for a few more seconds. And if the track disappears, I can say, West group faded, indicating, hey, that group's gone, and then its disappearance was correlated with some sort of weapon employment. So we can be sure that we can be pretty confident that they were neutralized. They're gone. They're good.
Vanished.
Vanished is when they disappear from scope, and I don't know why. Right? They could be beaming my radar. They could be breaking line of sight. They could be who knows what. They invented some
Reverse.
new. Yeah. I've got it reversed. I thought it was the other way around.
Now, faded
Vanished.
is
Faded
it
is
disappeared.
uncorrelated, and vanished is okay.
Correct. Is assumed because of
Got
known hostile or some sort of missile fire.
Roger. All right, I had them switched. Either way, point still the same. Is cues me into some sort of action. I can watch their track and then give you some sort of report of, hey, your weapon reached its impact point or splash or whatever, and that group has now disappeared off my radar, and that lets you know, all right, I can stop having heart palpitations. I'm alive, and my group has been neutralized. Yay me! Let's go home. So, long-winded point of make your fox calls, make your timeout calls, make your splash calls.
Another point to that is on like lot ITC, if for a Fox 3, really long shot, especially in a Phoenix, they show up on radar. So all of a sudden you have a brand new contact in the middle of it, and you're like, oh shit, what the hell's that? So if they know that you shot and who you're shooting at, when something pops up in between, they go, okay, I know what that is, right?
All right. Well, that's all I have time for tonight, and it's probably late for everybody, so we'll cut it off there. Anybody have any last comments or questions or anything?
Just a big thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the magic service. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate y'all participating.
Oh, yeah, if I can. Good luck on your drive. See you next time.
Alrighty, thank you.
I do have one question.
Shoot.
Where